Are you really an independent nation if your security is maintained by an external force rather than relying on your own soldiers to protect your nation? This is what's going on in the Gambia, where Senegalese forces take charge of the nation's security instead of the Gambia armed forces. However, this is about to change as the Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko has just put forward a realistic question to the Gambian government. Sonko, in his recent visit to the Gambia, questioned the very existence of the Senegalese soldiers in the Gambia, as per the Germain report, which was also disclosed by two NPP big guns. This had sent shockwaves to the Barrow administration, signaling that the end of the Senegalese forces in the Gambia is drawing ever so close like never seen before. Does this mean that Sonko is about to hit the long-awaited withdrawal button? Let's take a deep dive. Just to give you a bit of context, the Senegalese armed forces still remain in the Gambia despite the long-gone tumultuous post-Jammeh era, which saw Senegalese forces in the Gambia under the flagship of the ECOWAS peacekeeping mission. This mission was brought about due to the refusal of the former President Yahya Jammeh's refusal to relinquish power before fleeing the country on exile in Equatorial Guinea. Yahya Jammeh lost the 2016 presidential elections but later went on to cling onto power and refused to give way to the president-elected Adama Barrow. This was the move that prompted ECOWAS to send ECOMIG soldiers, majority of whom were the Senegalese soldiers. These Senegalese soldiers still maintain their existence in the Gambia, as the current sitting president, Adama Barrow, is unwilling to let them return home for his personal reasons. The 2016 political crisis is long gone, but what continues till today is Adama Barrow's bad leadership, using these Senegalese forces to shield himself. This move was welcomed by the Senegalese former President Macky Sall. However, Macky Sall had left office after he was defeated in the Senegalese presidential election last year. Power had shifted to the hands of two young radical Pan-African leaders, Ousmane Sonko and Bassirou Diomaye Faye. These newly appointed Senegalese authorities had always questioned the existence of their forces in the Gambia long before coming to power. A couple of months ago, France 24 mentioned the likelihood of these new Senegalese authorities to withdraw French forces from Senegal as well as their own forces in the Gambia. This came about due to these two young Senegalese leaders going in line with their zero foreign military interference policy. This is the same policy being adopted by many African countries, especially the West African nations, with young radical leaders like Assimi Goïta of Mali, Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, Abdul Rahman Tiani of Niger, Idriss Déby of Chad, and Sonko and Faye of Senegal. But what is this zero military interference policy France 24 is talking about on its episode of France Afrique? This is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, a Gambian-owned channel looking into the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. This policy of zero foreign military interference adopted by the Senegalese authorities, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, the Senegalese president, and Ousmane Sonko, the founding father of Senegal's current ruling regime. The zero military interference policy simply stands in favor of Senegal getting rid of all military interference or entanglement on sovereign soil, besides the Senegalese military by other sovereign nations or by Senegal. To put this simply, these two young radical leaders don't want to see the military of other countries in Senegal, or have their military on another sovereign nation unless a legitimate reason is put forward. This is the sole reason Faye and Sonko want the French military base in Senegal shut down in 2025, as they stated on live TV. The presence of a French military base in Senegal defies the whole purpose of the zero foreign military interference policy. Now, all focus points towards the Senegalese forces in Gambia. Sonko once again questioned the existence of the Senegalese forces in the Gambia, right on the Gambian soil, something both him and Bassirou Diomaye Faye had not done before on Gambian soil. According to France 24 and two big guns from the NPP camp, Ousmane Sonko placed a question mark on the existence of Senegalese forces in the Gambia, as he has not seen any legitimate reason why the Senegalese forces should be there. He doesn't see any security concern that threatens the actual sovereignty of the Gambia. Sonko explicitly believes that any security challenges can be dealt with by the Gambian forces. According to Pam Boop, a Senegalese journalist, Sonko was quoted to have said that as a nation, we will do away with all foreign military bases on Senegalese soil, as we see no reason why they should be there. This year of 2025, we shall have no military bases belonging to other countries on our soil. He further went on to state that their Senegalese forces in other countries will also be recalled back to Senegal, including their forces stationed in the Gambia. I don't mean the Senegalese forces under Economic, but the forces brought here by Macky Sall. Sonko said this right to the face of Adama Barrow, who argued that the Senegalese forces in the Gambia were brought by an agreement between the Gambia and former President Macky Sall to support Economic forces. According to France 24, Adama Barrow argued that the Gambia has a complex security challenge and that is why the Senegalese forces still remain in the country. However, this statement wasn't acknowledged by Sonko. Question: does the Gambia have a security challenge that the Gambia armed forces can't handle? Comment down below. He further encouraged collaboration between the two armed forces to perform joint patrols on the Senegambian borders for maximum security. As highlighted by two big guns from the NPP whose identity we are protecting, Adama Barrow seems unhappy with Sonko questioning the existence of Senegalese forces in the Gambia. But what does this mean? Could this mean Senegalese forces' withdrawal from the Gambia is imminent? Well, this could mean anything, but the fact of the matter is this. These two Senegalese leaders had never supported the existence of Senegalese forces in the Gambia, nor the existence of the French forces in Senegal ever since the previous regime. Now, they are in power, and have taken a bold step to dissolve French forces in Senegal this year. It's only a matter of time before Senegalese forces are withdrawn from the Gambia for good. Besides, the number of Senegalese forces in the Gambia has seen a decline as reported by Amnesty International. Even if Pastef decides to withdraw the Senegalese forces from the Gambia, this does not mean that the nation's security will be solely in the hands of the Gambian forces. Although this might be what many of you out there are thinking, it is also important to note that the Gambia had seen an influx of both Nigerian and Ghanaian soldiers in the country. So if these Senegalese soldiers are recalled back to Senegal, there is still a great possibility of the Gambian sovereignty being in the hands of either the Nigerian forces or the Ghanaian forces. Both Sonko and Faye know fully well that Adama Barrow was the very person who was supporting Macky Sall, canceling elections and keeping them behind bars. On top of that, both Sonko and Faye equally know that Adama Barrow is not doing well for the Gambians, so it will be very difficult for them to support Adama Barrow as he was against them during Macky Sall's tenure. So, for this reason, it's highly unlikely for the new Senegalese authorities to join hands with the Gambia's liability of a president, Adama Barrow. Macky Sall might be supporting and tolerating Adama Barrow because they are simply birds of the same feather. However, these young radical Senegalese leaders won't play to the outrageous tune of the Gambian president. The Nigerian forces in the Gambia is not a surprise considering the fact that Adama Barrow is just like the Nigerian president who is equally a liability to Nigeria. Adama Barrow and the Nigerian president Bola Tinubu have lots in common. They are both a liability on the Gambia and Nigeria respectively. They are both clueless, they don't know what they are doing, they both rig their way into office and they have no interest in their nations at heart. So, you see, they are similar, while both Sonko and Faye are the complete opposite of them, so you don't expect them to roll the dice together. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. This is a polite reminder to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Thank you so much appreciated. In conclusion, while the withdrawal of the Senegalese forces from the Gambia might be imminent, this doesn't affect the current stance of the Gambian armed forces in putting them in charge of the country's security and sovereignty. This is largely due to the existence of the Nigerian and Ghanaian forces in the country, which the Gambian president Adama Barrow looks up to for his protection against the nation's own forces. So the Senegalese forces might be going out, but the Nigerian and Ghanaian forces are coming in to take the task of the Senegalese forces.